everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast YouTube channel. This is episode 82. 82. That's my birth year. It sticks in my head. You know, just those certain numbers that are like, yeah, that's one of the numbers, because now I'm giving away my age. Yes, I'm 38. There you go. Don't do the math. It's okay. So, what's new? Well, let me say first, welcome to any new viewers. Welcome back to any returning viewers. All my links are down below. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. I have 2 Instagram accounts, one personal, one for knitting stuff. I did not transfer all my photos over. My husband actually made the account and now I'm using it. So yeah, I post most of my knitting stuff there. Sometimes I'll cross post, whatever. If you want to see anything about the house, because we told you that we were trying to get our house up for market, I'm posting that on my personal Instagram, so you can check that out there. We painted a lot outside. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. My hand hurts, so like when I go to knit, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've done a lot. Painting. Yeah, so that's new. We're doing that. Thank you to everyone who had such nice comments. Moving is not easy. It's not, and it's a lot. I feel like I'm all jumbled up here because I'm like, I'll see this and I'll be like, that should go on a list and that and that and obviously I've talked about the room that I'm in. The room that I'm in is the room that my oldest lived in, and she moved out. And we just haven't done anything with it because now that I'm working from home, I moved my computer in here from the dining room. And we just haven't done. I mean, obviously, we need to, like, patch, but we need to paint. So, like, she had, like, all kinds of stuff hanging up on her walls. So we have to patch everything, paint everything a neutral color, and pretty much rearrange our house. So, other things that are new. I have a 5-year-old now. She turned 5. Thank you to everybody who also posted on my Instagram post and wished her happy birthday. That's so sweet of you. Even though I may have not met you in person, I feel like I know some of my viewers because we talk, we comment on each other's stuff. It's cool. I love that. It's really neat. Other things that are new. Oh, I have a cavity. There you go. Yeah. Not that you needed to know that. It's actually not even like something I really did. I had a filling in one of my furthest molars all the way in the back. And when they did the cavity, I guess it must have been kind of big. So there wasn't much of the tooth left on the outside because it was on the top. And the filling, took up most of the tooth, I guess. So eventually the dentist said there would have been no saving this. It's gonna crack. It'd be nice if the dentist that did that would have told me that, like, hey, in 10 years, that's probably gonna crack. It's probably been longer than that. But I must have ate something or whatever, and it cracked. It doesn't hurt, although my gums felt like swollen. But I thought it was from like me flossing extra well lately. I've been really good. At flossing, y'all. Floss. End of story. I'm a terrible flosser. But I've gotten better because now my littlest is flossing. So when she flosses, I floss. So it's kind of like I have to make her do it. So I should be doing it too. Okay, almost 4 minutes and no knitting yet. Just all the updates. Okay. It's very dreary here in Baltimore. It's supposed to rain, but it's going to be like 82, so it's probably going to be gross and humid and rainy and bleh. Which means no more outside painting until we get a couple days where it's going to be like nice and dry. So I guess it's going to be like packing stuff. I don't know. Hold on. Sorry, I had a phone call trying to come through when I'm podcasting. Leave me alone. All right, knitting. I am excited. I am so far. My Catbells sweater, I'm using Lion Brand woolies. So far. I have a cat that's apparently coming in. Yep, Mia. Oh boy. I have now picked up the stitches for the neckline. So you know what that means? I finished the second sleeve. You have to ignore all the cat hair My oldest cat likes to lay in my lap and pretty much on the sweater when I'm working on it. I picked up the neckline. I think it looks pretty good. So sleeve number 1 is done. Sleeve number 2 is also done. I didn't lie, it's done. I didn't just say abandon the sleeve and pick up the neckline. I finished. This is a pattern by Pip and Pin. I can't remember the exact designer's name, but I will link it down below. Again, all my links, I try to be as good as possible about putting what kind of link it is. If it's an outside link from the interwebs, from say the designer's website, or if it's a YouTube link, or if it is the dreaded Ravelry link, because so many people are still having yeah, that's a word. They can't access Ravelry as a normal user, and that's sad. And I'm still hoping they get their shit together. That's for you, Ravelry. But I think the neckline looks pretty darn good. I'm only supposed to do like 6 rounds. I think I might do 1 or 2 more than that. I'll have to try it on, but then I don't know if I can get my fat head through that hole without ripping stitches off. We'll see. I'll have to try it on. I really have to try it on. This could be a finished object if I can block it and get it to dry in this dreary, rainy weather that we're supposed to have in the next couple days. I also bought a little tool. So you've seen my tool that I use for my speedster machine for the drill. No. Yes. It's not really for this for the actual knitting machine. It's to prep your yarn on the cone. So you get, I have an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster. If you didn't know, I have all these cones. You wind your yarn onto the cones because it gives the nice flow to go up to this mast here to go through and then into your machine when you're cranking it. So you want to have a nice flow of yarn. So I had bought the tool for the drill. The drill don't have a battery on it right now, so it looks kind of funny. It doesn't have the bottom. So this is the part for the cone. This goes on, you wind your yarn, because cone winders are expensive. So I've just bought the attachment. I've bought a new attachment. The attachment I bought is for my Addi Express King Size, which is another circular knitting machine, but this is for mostly worsted weight yarn. You can hold yarns together. I've been making a lot of, if you've been watching me, I make a lot of the tube cowls and hats and whatnot. So I bought this little handy attachment. I'll show how this works in a video. So I bought this. I'm pretty sure it was 3D printed. And I'll show how that works. So this piece obviously goes into my drill like that. And this will go over the handle. So Leslie, I'm sorry if I am an enabler again, or actually any of my friends who have circular machines. The Genome, is that the brand? And there's another brand. So I'm sorry if I enable you. I bought this part. I'll have to look. I'll link the shop and I'll look it up how much I paid for it, and I'll talk about the price in the next video when I'm actually using it on the drill. And yeah, I'll show you that in a clip in this episode. All right, I have to get to work. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Okay, it is Thursday morning, the 10th, September 10th. Excuse the boxes here. This is all stuff that I'm taking Saturday morning to try and sell, baby clothes. I kept clothes thinking maybe we would have another or give them to somebody. Now I'm going to take them to a flea market. I already bought my space, and I'm going to sell them for 25 cents a piece and unload them. Whatever doesn't sell, I'm going to take to the mission. Give it to them to sell for cheap to families who need them, or give away to families who need them. So using my poor mug, is the decals are falling off. It's from Salem. It says which city. I'm having some, can't remember, Twinings, the Lady Gray. Oh my god, if you've never had that, it's so good. I got my Addi set up I have it hooked to the table at this point. Sorry. Okay. Have it hooked to the table. Put my drill attachment on. It's going to be hard to see. I'll have to probably move the camera to show you how it hooks into this. But it hooks right onto the handle. It has a part here that I'll have to turn it and show you. But I'm going to set up my scrap yarn and I'm going to try this. This is the other Lion Brand mandala. Well, this is the third one. This is the mandala tweed, which I don't think is a tweed. I think it's a marled, but I'll just keep repeating myself. And it's stripes, and this one is called Horseshoe. And yeah, so I'm gonna see how this works and see if it can save my arm a little bit of cranking. Because with these, I crank about 300 rows. Yeah. I did finish, I Kitchenered that other tube. This was the Red Heart Super Stripes in the Polo Stripe colorway, and it is now all Kitchenered together. Actually, my Kitchener is like right there. It doesn't look the greatest on this one. I think because the color transition was happening, so you get like one little stripe, but it's fine. I love this. I think it's really pretty. And then you can wrap it around nice and twice. Nice and twice, that's weird. Okay. I like it. And I like that when I did the second ball, I did it reverse, so it matched up, and then it just kind of goes the opposite direction, and I think that's really cool. So, all right, I'll show you a little bit, I'll show you the handle real quick before I start cranking, so that way you can see what I'm talking about, how it hooks on. All right, so I'm holding my tripod, so I hope I'm not too shaky. But, so here's the machine. Here's the regular legs. Normally, I would have the feeder on the front and the crank on this side, because I sit at it here. But since I'm going to be holding a drill here, I'm going to hold the drill, and then I'll feed the yarn in with this hand. And then these are the feet that clamp onto the table. And then, let's see, so here I showed you guys how it has the notch in it, and the notch goes right over it like that. There's no yarn on that. I'm not trying to fool you or anything. Okay, let me set this up. Off my face, but I set up my waist yarn. I'm going to crank a few rows by hand before I put the drill on it, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to put my waist yarn in. I dropped it in my tea. That was my face. That was me making that crazy face while I was cranking that. I wasn't thinking very well, I guess. Okay, so this will be the end that I Kitchener, so I always dump in some yarn for that, enough to Kitchener it shut. That way if I forget at the end, it's okay. And I'm going to reset my counter, just because I haven't been keeping track as much. But I do, when I do the 2-color ones, I keep track so I can do the same amount of color like the rainbow one. So I do the same amount of rainbow stripes as I do black stripes, so it's kind of even. This is actually easy to crank going this direction. I like it. I'm going to move my bucket to the floor. Dang. We'll do about 5 rows, and then I'm going to hook up the drill. I don't know why I'm nervous about it. I feel like if I just keep it, let me go a little bit further so it's kind of set up for ready for my drill. Okay, the drill's kind of heavy and that worries me, so we'll see. Not too bad. Sorry if it's loud. Much harder to tell if I drop a stitch this way. I have noticed going in the round, I don't drop as many stitches when I'm doing the flat knitting. Okay. So that worked out. That was 18 rows. I don't know how fast I can crank 18 rows by hand. I guess I could time myself. But I'll probably turn this off and I'm gonna set a timer and see how long it takes me to crank this whole ball. Just curious, because it takes me almost an hour because I have to stop. I'm probably gonna have to stop with the drill too, because it actually is, the drill's heavy. I had it held against my body and I was afraid to go fast. So I know I can always just recrank this if I mess up, right? So, all right, let's do this. Okay, so 100 rows took approximately 5 minutes. My hand, excuse me, my hand is very cramped though. So will I use that all the time? Probably not. Is it nice to have? Sure. I mean, you know, fun tools, accessories to tools. I think I want to crank 50 rows and I can give you an idea of how long it takes me to hand crank. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so hand crank, I did 50 rows. My arm is killing me. Normally I would probably do even 40 and then take breaks. My hair's just stopped staying in the clip. So if it was 50 rows and 4 minutes, that's 8 minutes to do 100 rows by hand. So not a huge time saver. I probably crank those 50 rows quicker than I would normally crank by hand because your arm gets tired. I stand up, I sit down, I fix the yarn, you gotta roll it up. So on average, it does take me, I would say, if I'm doing 300 rows and it was 8 minutes, that's times 8. So, and that's 6 times 8. That's 48. So it's almost an hour with breaks, stopping for an hour, right? I would have to take breaks with the drill. It was cramping my hand. I'd have to roll up the tube so it's not just spinning. It's gonna not be much difference. I probably could do it with the drill in like a half hour versus an hour, maybe, depending. Like I said, my hand did cramp. So yeah, it's a cool tool, not gonna lie. I'm glad I got it. I have it and it wasn't much. Again, I will put the shop link from the Etsy store down below and the price that I paid because I can't remember. All right, I have to start work because it's like 8:45 or something. Okay, bye. Okay, everybody, it is now Saturday and it's time to round up this video for the week. I just got back from flea marketing some stuff and yeah, I made about 60 bucks. Not terrible, but that's okay. Got some stuff out of our house, ready to be, oh my God, my hair. So get some things out of our house, right? So we can get it on the market quicker, easier, whatever. Less things we have to store. All right, in the last clip I was showing you that I was cranking on my Addi machine with my new tool. I did finish. I don't think I showed you guys, but I finished it. Didn't fully finish it. It's still on waste yarn, but it's cranked. I just need to Kitchener it shut and it's done. This one turned out really cool. I like the colors. And then I decided, since I'm trying to clean up some stuff, I was like, I need to crank some other things quick and get them ready to either donate or sell or whatever I want to do with them. That way they can get out of the house too. It means less balls of yarn that have to be stored somewhere. I had another ball of the rainbow or the neon stripes in the Super Saver. The one that I made for Hayes and her friend, and I had a third ball because I wanted to make another one. This is this was cranked nice and easy with the machine. But the black gave me trouble when I hand cranked it the last time. I don't know if I was trying to go too fast. I think it's a little bit thicker. It is a red heart yarn also. Sorry, it probably has cat hair all in it. I had some issues the last time I cranked the black, and it wasn't dropping, so it picks up the yarn and then it's supposed to drop the stitch over the needle, and it wasn't doing that. It was picking up the yarn, pulling it down into the bed of the machine, and it had two strands then down in there. So I was getting like two stitches knit together in a column. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it started doing that with this, and I had gotten almost to the end. I was like 20 rows away, maybe more, but it was already giving me issues probably 20 or 30 rows before that. So I took it off the machine because I was having I had some drop stitches and everything. So I took it off the machine. I picked up with my circular needles further down, probably, I don't know, down here somewhere. And I hand knit the rest. I only have this little bit left in here. I need to find out. That's the thing that's a pain in the butt when it doesn't come off your machine, because you can stop it at a certain needle, and that way you stop at the same stitch. You start at the same stitch and stop at the same stitch, so when you're Kitchenering your tube, you know you're not twisting it a little. So I need to lay this out, straighten it out as best as possible, and find where the start of my tube is, so I can make the start of this end the same, so when I Kitchener them together, it doesn't twist the tube a little bit. It doesn't like do like an infinity twist. It twists the tube. I can't. Is that even explainable without showing? I don't know. And that's all. So that rounds up the week. It's a very short video. I haven't cast on anything else new, like hand knitting wise. I did work on, you guys have seen these before. I have this scrubby yarn, and I've been making scrubbies for the kitchen, for dishes. These two are for presents, and I haven't worked on those yet. And I had a little bit of this left, but I had some left of the other of these colors, so I made 4 of those. These are what was left. One's a little smaller than the others, but that's perfectly okay. I am just now kind of doing it out of my head, not following a pattern. I used to follow the pattern that was on the back of the scrubby, but if you've watched my previous episodes with these in it, you're using a double crochet, and I don't like how holy it makes it. I don't want them to be very holy. And all these are done with a half double crochet, so the holes aren't even quite as big. I mean, I can fit my fingertip through, but I could fit my finger through when it was a double crochet, and I didn't like that at all. So this is the end of those. I went all the way as far as I could go with my half double crochets, and then when I knew I didn't have enough to go all the way around, I just single crocheted until I got to the end of the yarn and stopped, because I wanted to use up every single bit. There's no point in having a tiny little bit. This I'm going to have to probably combine with something else to make even a usable scrubby size. But yeah, those colors, I probably still have the labels for those. Almond was that brown one. Tide was probably this one. And I guess I don't have the label for the purple one anymore. I mean, there was no point in probably keeping that. So, and then this one's called Cherry and this one's called Marble. So I'll be making these for presents. Oh, I'm probably lying. That label's right here. Jelly was the purple. I think I even used the recommended size hook. I use my tulips. This is an I9. What do they call for? An I9. That's what they called for. And it works really well. It's a little hard seeing your stitches in this because it is this weird eyelashy scrubby stuff. They don't have to be perfect. It's a scrubby that you're gonna wash dishes with. I've washed and dried these in my washing machine and dryer and they still come out amazing. We have the same 4 that we've been using. Love them. Yeah, and that's all I got. I put some rose on John's sweater, but again, not enough to really show you guys. And then, yeah, he's out buying concrete. We had our front steps. I mean, they're fine. Our steps are fine. But there's always been a spot in the front where the concrete was broken and I just filled it in with rock. And we've always just had the little white rock there instead. We're gonna fill it with some concrete. So he's doing that. And then it's more house stuff. I'm gonna try to finish painting the back because I still haven't finished that. So I hope you all are doing okay. I hope, you know, you're enjoying life as to the max as best as possible. And remember to keep checking in with your loved ones. Very important. Yeah, that's it. So knit happy. I don't know what clip I'm gonna have for the end. Oh man, to dig something up. All right, knit happy, and until the next time, take care. Bye.